This video is going to explore the different ways of factorising algebraic expressions. To be able to factorise, we must understand the different terminology used when we break down an algebraic expression. For example, this 5a is considered a term, and within this term you have the variable, which is a, and the coefficient, which is 5. In a similar way then, our 7 in this term is the coefficient and our variable is y. A variable is the unknown part of the algebraic expression. And finally, you will have 2, which in this case is called a constant. I'm now going to go through each of these 4 parts in detail. And in maths, factorising is the reverse of expanding. So in the previous ones we were expanding and simplifying. We are now doing the reverse and we're turning an expression into a product. So one way we do this is a highest common factor, or HCF. Another aspect of it is grouping. We then have the difference of two squares and quadratic trinomials. Up first we have highest common factor. So for part 1, we're asked to find the highest common factor of y squared plus 4y. And straight away, we know what's common. We're looking for something that's common between these two terms, which we know is y, because we have a y on this side and a y on this side. And now we need to divide then by our factor, which we have found to be y. And if we remember the rule for dividing powers, we're left with y on the inside of the bracket plus 4. And we have now factorised this expression fully using highest common factor. And for part 2, we will have an x squared minus an 11x. And again, just as similar as part 1, x is our factor because we can divide both sides by it. And when you divide x into x squared, you are left with x minus 11. We're now going to factorise using grouping. So I take my first question. I have the terms mr minus ms plus nr minus ns. And what I need to do is I need to remove the common factor from 2 pairs of terms. So the best way to do this is to split it down the middle. So now I have 2 terms on this side and 2 terms on this side. And now I simply find what's common. So what's common in the first 2 is m, and I have r minus s left over, because I've divided by m and divided by m. And on the same side here then, I have a plus, and what's common is n bracket r minus s. And I know I'm right because these brackets must be the same. And now I simply regroup my factors. So I have m plus n in one bracket and r minus s in the other. Now for part 2, I have ax minus ay minus cx plus cy. And I do the same thing as the previous question. I split it down the middle and I find what's common to each one. So for the first 2 terms, my common factor is a. So I divide by a. And when I divide by a, I'm left with x minus y. And if I was to apply it to the other side, I'm left with a minus c and divide by c, x minus y. And I regroup them. So I have a minus c bracket x minus y. And because my two brackets are the same here and here, I know I'm right.